Let's come to stand. We've got a core focused session and we're going to workshop a move called single leg stretch. So you'll experience that in all its glory. Feet underneath the hips, knees unlocked, tailbone shining a light down towards the backs of your heels. Headlights on the hip bone shining forwards, collarbones long, and the top of your head really growing tall to the ceiling. So take a breath in through the nostrils. And as you breathe out, that ooh shape, like you're blowing through a straw. Breathe in. And as you exhale, think about those two pointy hip bones drawing in towards each other. Breathe in. And as we exhale, let's circle the shoulders. So we circle the shoulders on the shoulder blades on the back of the rib cage. Really notice the move. It might be a bit of snap, crackle, puff. And then settle the shoulder blades and, oh no, that's wrong. Do the elbows. I got ahead of myself. That's it. Very good. And then the full arms. So we're going to float two arms. Inhale, exhale to the side. And so remember when we're moving the arms that the rib cage should remain balanced directly above the pelvis. So you don't want to feel like the rib cage is swinging forwards or backwards. And so last time, arms to the side, and then we've got our side bend. Remember as you do this to have that sense of growing taller out of the ground, and then drawing the elbow up. Feel like you're drawing a line along the side seam of the body, lifting and lowering. And very good. So the movements are smooth and flowing, controlled. And make this one the last one. Perfect. Now roll down from the top. So we're peeling the spine away from the imaginary wall. And then slowly uncurl, reset the shoulder blades. Arms out in front. And we're going to bend and extend. And so with the arms out in front, especially if you're holding a weight, you should notice those core muscles switch on in the low part of the belly, which is what they do to stabilize us. And bend and extend. Very good. And last time, out and in. Perfect. So we're doing our tiptoe raises. And today with our tiptoe raises, we're going to sweep the arms up and then down. So it's like angels in the snow. Inhale and exhale as you come up. Focus on the ankles opening forwards, not to the side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, oops. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. So we're going to do our squats. That's a bow at the hip, a bend at the knee. And remember, we're going to do the arms forwards and back. You don't need to remember that, I do. And hips, knees, ankles, all in a line. One arm forwards, one arm back. Now the challenge with this is to keep the torso square forward facing, because we don't want to feel like we're twisting through the torso as we move the arms. Set the seat out at the back of you. Breathe in, breathe out. And one more. Very good. All right, so hands above shoulders. We're going to punch one arm up and float the opposite leg. So breathe out as we lift. Now you will see there's some shift from side to side as you do this. And that is inevitable, but keep it to a minimum. So we're marching on the spot. And sending the knuckles to the ceiling. And very good. So hover one leg in tabletop, and then we're going to open that leg to the side and back to the center. So balancing on one leg always activates the core muscles. Oops. Out and in. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, close. And balancing. So on the standing leg, the hip is in. The knee is just unlocked. It's not locked back fully. And make this the last one and rest down. So shifting the weight, feel really established on this leg. The hip is in, hover and float the leg, open to the side when you get your balance. And then opposite arm, out and in, out and in, very good. Balancing. And one more. All right, so lower it down. We're going to roll down from the top again. And then uncurl, slowly re-stacking the spine, bone by bone. Come and stand with your feet wide, hands above the shoulders. Bend and press. So it's an overhead press. Inhale as we go down, exhale as we lift. Think about the journey that your knees are making. And as you reach the arms overhead, resist poking your ribs forwards. So breathe in, breathe out. Very good. Down and up. Down and up. And one more. Down and up. Perfect. So we're going to stand on one leg again. And this time, floating the arms up and down to the sides. Up and down. One more. Up and down. And then arms out. One up, one down. One up, one down. So this is scissors with the arms up and up. That's it. Very good. All right. Swap sides. Same thing on the other side. Shift your weight. Hover the leg. And what did I do first? Up and down to the side. Angels in the snow. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Now scissors, one up, one down. Balancing as best we can. Ooh. Wobbling is just your balance getting better. Oops, or not. All right, very good, lower it down. So our next move is the one leg kick in standing. So standing on one leg, you're going to bring your heel to your bottom and pulse. Pulse, 2, 3, and then swap. So the thing to notice with this is that you're not letting your leg come forwards as you kick, but that the knees stay beside one another. Okay? So we pulse, 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 change legs, pulse, 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 change legs. And keeping the knees aligned as you do it, pulse, 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 change leg, pulse, 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 and again. All right, so we're going to add on to this. So it's a pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, come together. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, come together. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, up, together. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Step back, drop down, stand up, come together. So I'm on the same leg each time, and this time we're adding on. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, knee lift. Oh, it's a real balance. So pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, knee lift. And you can go straight back to your pulse, pulse, pulse without touching the ground if you wanted to. Down, up, knee lift, and pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, knee lift. All right, so you've got another leg. Starting at the beginning, pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, together. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, come together. So we're really trying to get that pulse, 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 thighs parallel, drop down, together, knee lift. Oops, I forgot where I was going. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, stand up, knee lift. Pulse, 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 step back. Woo, and drop down, knee lift. Last time. Pulse, 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 step back, drop down, knee lift. Okay, I think that's quite enough of that. So, come to the end of your mat. Discard the weights. We're coming on to all fours. So make your way onto all fours. Hands spread the fingers wide, knees under hips, hands just very slightly forwards of the shoulders. And then this rounding and hollowing, a gentle hollow. Now, I'd like to start from the tail end. So just moving from the tail end. Same as you go to the hollow, move from the tail end. Round from the tail end to the base of the skull, and then follow from the tail end to the base of the skull. So it's like a wave, rounding, shine forwards, breathe out, round, breathe in, follow, and round up. So we're really getting that sense of energy and come to be in the mid position. So you're not forwards or back. We're going to drop down onto the forearm of one hand. So I don't want you to move your hands as such. Just drop down. You've got a straight arm and a bent arm. Turn and look over the shoulder of the straight arm. So we're in this position. Turn your head, look over the shoulder of the straight arm and feel the ribs twist. Now swap sides, bend the elbow, turn, look over the shoulder of the straight arm. And swap, bend the elbow, turn, look, swap, bend the elbow, turn, and look. All right, we're on all fours. Now we're taking an arm back in line with the torso, a little bit higher than the hips, but not too high. And then swap sides. Feel like you're slicing through the air with your little finger and resist kind of rounding your back as you do that, so that your spine is in this ideal neutral. The elbows just unlocked. Never feel like your elbows are completely locked. Reach and lengthen the arm. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. And really get that sense of energy from the shoulder to the fingertips. Very good. Now I'm going to give you an option here to circle the arm. So I want you to circle the arm, and when you get just past your hip, you're going to twist the thumb up so that the thumb is leading the movement. As you come back, twist the hand, palm faces to the side. Inhale. So we think it's a bit like front crawl, if ever you swam front crawl. Little finger leads and then the hand twists so that the thumb is the first thing to hit the water. I'm not swapping arms, by the way. I'm just doing one arm. And I'm turning to follow my hand with my eyes. Now, let's swap and do that on the other side. So breathe in by the hip, breathe out, turn, look. And it's okay to twist the ribs, but try and keep your hips really quite still. So feeling those muscles of the center, inhale. And this is quite a strong mobilizer for the shoulder too. So take care of your shoulders as you do it. Last one. Very good. So let's send the leg out in line with the hip. Breathe out, send the leg out. The back of the head in line with the back of you. At the opposite arm, reach, and if you wanted to, breathe out, reach out, breathe in, come in. Moving just at the hip. And the shoulder, of course. And make this one the last one. So that's a great core strengthening exercise. Drop onto your forearms now. You'll be glad to give your wrists a rest. We're going to send the sole of the foot to the ceiling. Tap the knee. Stay on the same leg. Sole of the foot to the ceiling. Tap the knee. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. And when you look down towards your leg, you want to see that the thigh is more or less vertical. So we don't want to see really acute angles at the hip. Feel like your hip is directly above the knee. Hold at the top and do pulses for 8, 7, 6, little pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, swap legs. So knee under the hip. Don't let the knee come into the middle of you. It's still at one edge at the hip. And lift and lower the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. So breathe out, lift, breathe in, lower, and moving at the hip. That movement is isolated to the hip, not any other bit of you joining in. And lift, hold, and then pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. So sit back, stretch off your bottom muscles for a second. Belly to the thighs, opening the shoulders as well. We're coming back onto the forearms and we're going to send the leg out straight. So this time I'm drawing a rainbow with my toes, and I'm going to cross one way and then out to the side and then across the leg. But I'm only moving so much, the leg is straight the whole time. You're drawing an arc of motion like a rainbow. And I'm only moving my leg so much that I can still keep everything else really still and stable. So out and across and out and across. Now you've got another leg. Let's do the other leg. Get yourself set before you set off. And the leg is straight. So you do want to really feel, and I'm pointing my toes as well to activate the calf muscles. So we're moving at the hip joint, up and over, out to the side. The chin is in, the neck is long, and really lovely arc of motion. So feel those core muscles working to stabilize and prevent you from rocking and rolling around. That's the purpose of this exercise. And make this one the last one. Bring your legs in, very good. So knees apart, feet together, sit right the way back. And this time, your forehead might just make it to the mat. Belly between the thighs. Wonderful. So push-ups, and then we'll get to lie down on the front. Hands a little wider than the shoulders, knees under hips. You can turn your fingers slightly inwards, slightly is all that is required. Bending the elbows outwards and backwards. Chest between the hands. Breathe in as you go down, breathe out as you come up. And you can drop the hips in for that half plank position, down and up. And do count, if you can, to 10 in your head. Breathe in and out. Don't hold your breath. The chin is in, the neck is long. And make this the last one. Wonderful. So come lie on your forearms, stretching out the tummy muscles. This position is called the Sphinx position in yoga. And it is a position that we use in Pilates sometimes. So I really want you to understand how to be in this position without overloading the spine. The tendency is, if we're not careful, just to let the belly droop down to the mat. And so actually what we're thinking of in this position is that pelvic tilt, so that you come up onto your pubic bone, the hip bones are lifted, and your tummy muscles are turning on in the front of you to protect the spine from overextension. So in this position, you can feel like you're pulling your elbows forwards. You can feel like you're shining the breastbone forwards. The head should always feel soft on the neck, and the pubic bone is down, the hips are lifted, and the belly muscles are on. We'll come back to this. So let's lie on the front and do the diamond press. So that's the diamond shape, the forehead in the hand, legs in line with the hip joints, and lie flat onto your front. So you're going to roll the pelvis forwards and backwards in a rocking motion to establish the ideal neutral alignment, where the pubic bone is pressing into the ground a bit more strongly than the hip bones. And remember, you can always position a cushion underneath the front of you. especially if you've got an exaggerated lumbar curve. So I quite like this actually. So we're going to float and hover the head away from the hands. Breathe out as we lift, breathe in as we lower. And really be sure that you are lifting the head, the weight of your head, using your neck muscles. We're not pushing into the ground with the hands. The belly is gently lifting away from the mat towards the spine. So breathing out as we lift, breathe in as we lower. And really get that sense of lengthening the top of the head away from the tailbone as you lift. So you feel like you grow longer as you lift, and then longer still as you lower. Shoulders down, the neck is long, the chin is in, and we reach, lengthen, and hover. Wonderful. So bring the arms into the W shape. Use your head support, and we're going to float and hover the forehead and the breastbone. Remember that you are not pushing through your arms. You are really feeling these muscles of the upper back. It might feel a bit like Groundhog Day because we do this movement in every session, but there's a reason for that. Our modern lives are really eroding our ideal posture and alignment, and we've got to work on these back muscles to hold us up against gravity. So float and hover. Now, float, hover, and then float an arm. Lower the arm, lower the torso. Repeat. Float the torso, the other arm hovers and then lowers. So remember when you hover the arm is parallel with the ground. Often we see the elbow lift first, but I really want you to be absolutely clear that it is the whole of the forearm lifting simultaneously. And then the option, of course, is to lift and reach if you wanted to. Return and lower. Remember, we lift the torso first so that when you reach and hover the arm, you are very aware whether or not you feel the torso droop. So you don't want to feel that your torso droops as you hover the arm. And then only if you wanted to, you could do two arms simultaneously reaching, and that's a lot more strenuous for the muscles of the back. And we never want you to feel like you're hurting your back when you do this. So float, hover, lengthen, reach, return. Wonderful. Bend your knees and rock your feet from side to side. You can rest your head on the backs of your hands. And then bring the legs in line. So we're going to float like a dart or an arrow. And we've got the hand weights as an option. Floating like a dart or an arrow, extending the arms alongside the torso, alongside the hips, and lower. So breathe out, reach, feel like you're getting longer and longer as you lift, and then even longer as you lower. So you now want to feel like you are getting shorter, always getting longer. Lifting the belly towards the spine gently. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in as you lower. And the pubic bone is heavy. The spine is lengthened. And do that one more time. Hover. Very good. and lower. So, hands under the head. We're going to do the one leg, the one leg kick here, the one leg kick, which is this movement we did when we were standing up. It's the pulse, pulse, pulse the leg, and then swap. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Now it's a different experience when you lie on your front. You really don't have any trouble keeping the thighs parallel because the ground is there. But the thing that we might notice on the ground is that you might move as you kick your leg. So the goal is to really limit the movement by using the core stabilizing muscles to stabilize and support you. So the leg should be vigorous. Pulse, 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 change leg. Pulse, 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 change leg. You can add the choreography of the toe. Point, flex, point. So that's the ankle, flex, point, point, flex, point, change legs, point, flex, point, change legs, point, flex, point, and point, flex, point. All right, now hover leg long. So you've got one leg hovering away from the ground. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Really get that sense of lengthening from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Lengthen and hover, and then slowly lower. So the pubic bone is very still, the hip bones are still, the belly muscles lifting gently to the spine. Breathe out as we lift. Breathe in as we lower. Now we're going to put those two things together. So it's a bend, bend, bend. Hover the leg straight, then lower. Swap. Bend, bend, bend. Hover, lower. And you can point, flex, point, hover, lower. Point, flex, point, hover, lower. And again. Point, flex, point, hover. Last time, point, flex, point, hover, lower. Now, the last variation of that particular exercise is to do that up on your forearm. So for some people, this is not ideal and you should stay flat. But if you feel like this is appropriate for you, point, flex, point, and change legs. We won't hover just yet. Point, flex, point, change. Point, flex, point. Now you can see how it's much harder in this position to bend your leg for one, and to stay still. Point, flex, point, point, flex, point. And then the last variation is the hover. Point, flex, point, hover, much harder. Point, flex, point, hover. So do it flat if it's a problem for you. Point, flex, point. You can always be flat. Point, flex, point, hover. You're done. Let's sit back, shall stretch. Knees wide, feet together. Arms reach forward, forehead to the mat, and we're coming for a lie down. It's time to lie down. Have a head support handy. Have your hand weights handy. And come and lie onto the back of the body. Make this part of the workout, slowly lowering yourself down bit by bit, bone by bone, onto the back of the body. Legs in line. So you've got about a fist distance between your knees. And then start with your pelvic rocking. So just a nice bit of loosening, mobility, spinal mobility. Now, we've done quite a lot with that one leg kick, but our movement that we're workshopping today is the single leg stretch. So come to rest in the neutral alignment. Place your hands on the front of the pelvis and slide the leg out in line with the hip joint. And this is single leg stretch level 1. So the heel is skimming the surface of the mat. It's not getting stuck on the mat, just very lightly skimming the surface. And so notice as you change legs, there's this opportunity for the pelvis to rock from side to side. And you need to use those deep stabilizing muscles to prevent that rocking from happening. Similarly, when the leg is fully extended, there's a moment when there's an opportunity for the pelvis to rock forwards, and we don't want that either. So make sure that your pelvis is not rocking forwards or side to side as you do the exercise. Then we've got the added challenge, if you wanted to take your arms off the ground as you perform this movement, and that just makes it a little bit more challenging. And then the option to extend the opposite arm up overhead and then swap side. So breathe in, breathe out. Chin is gently nodding to the chest. The pelvis is square and level. The rib cage is sinking heavily down into the ground. You don't want to feel like your ribs are poking. And then come to be in the mid position. We're going to open a knee to the side. So this is the hip twist level 1. And inhale as you open, exhale as you close. You can add that opposite arm out to the side, back to the center, if you wanted to. Breathe in as you open, breathe out as you close. And keeping the pelvis still is the focus of the exercise. All right, wonderful. So let's glue the legs together, arms out to the sides. Rock the knees side to side. Breathe in as you go to the side. Breathe out on the return. And really notice these muscles at the waist. Lengthen as you go to the side, shorten on the return journey. Breathe in as you go, breathe out on the return. And then the option to take the hands away from the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Rolling side to side. And so the last variation is to reach the arms overhead. With or without the weights, with or without the arms, we can tailor these exercises to suit any situation, any and all situations. So as we extend the arms overhead, the most important thing is to keep the ribs sinking heavily down into the ground. And make this one the last one. Come back. All right. Arms down beside you. Take your head support out. Walk your feet hip distance and maybe a bit closer in towards your bottom. Begin by rolling the pelvis in towards you. Breathe in at the top and then breathe out as you lower, peeling the spine and then replacing the spine. Bone by bone, we lift up to the shoulder blades. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out as we lower. Again, thinking of each bone moving in turn. Roll in, peel the spine up and away. Breathe in at the top. Breathe out as we lower, bit by bit, bone by bone, all the way to the tailbone. Very good. And lower it down. Come to be in the neutral place. Bend the elbows to 90 degrees. Punch one set of knuckles up to the ceiling. And you've got the option to hold your weight. Bring the head supports back in if you feel the need. And sending the arm up so that the hand ends above the shoulder, directly above the shoulder. Now, float and hover, one leg to tabletop, and then swap. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Very good. So now hover one leg in tabletop. Rest your arms for a second. You're going to reach the leg out. Point your toes like you're aiming to push a button on the wall. Breathe out, reach out. Breathe in, come in. And this is our single leg stretch level 2. We have the option to add arms to this. And this movement will be familiar. We've done it many times before in our session. So reach out with the opposite arm today. Opposite arm and leg. And so you aim for the thighs to be more or less parallel as you reach the tip of the toe to push that button on the wall in front of you. Wonderful. And then let's swap legs and do the same thing on the other side. Just that moment as you swap legs, though, is another opportunity to be sure that you are stabilizing the pelvis. There shouldn't be any moment in the session where you are not thinking about keeping your pelvis in ideal alignment as you move, or even as you are still on the mat. So breathe out, reach out, breathe in, come in. Single leg stretch, level 2. And then come back to the center. Rest the arms, one leg in tabletop. Remember, whenever we bring the second leg into the air, we must be prepared by activating the tummy muscles a bit more strongly just before we lift that second leg. Now with 2 legs in the air, we tap the toes, and we know that this is scissored. This movement is scissored. And tap in the toes. And then we can do reciprocal legs. Down and up, down and up. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't hold your breath ever. And really feel that your pelvis is still, the legs are moving at the hips. And then legs in tabletop for the single leg stretch, level 3. One leg out, one leg in. Adding the arms is, in this case, just a bit of embroidery to the movement. It definitely makes it more challenging when, especially when you've got a weight in your hand. So tune your mind into those muscles in the abdominal region, working to stabilize the spine, keeping the pelvis still. And the tummy muscles are flat like a sheet of taut cling film. And then have a rest. So lower the legs, lower the arms, hands behind the head, take out your head supports. We're going to do the upper body lift, that is the abdominal prep. So gliding the lowest ribs towards the hip bones. We're thinking of closing the gap between the lowest rib and the pointy hip bone. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. And notice your tummy muscles. Work to shorten that space, make the space less. Make sure your tummy muscles are drawing your belly down and in and not upwards. And support the weight of your head. Chin is off your chest. Breathe out as we lift. Breathe in as we lower. And you might notice your back flattens a little as you lift, and that's okay. But don't think of jamming it down particularly. Very good. 2 more. And last one. All right, so rock the knees side to side with the knees apart and the feet apart. So our single leg stretch, level, where did we get up to? 3. Level 4. So hovering one leg to tabletop. We always have to take care as we assume the position. And our reciprocal legs. And so the last piece of this puzzle is to lift the head away at the same time. Hands can support the weight of your head. And remember that I'm offering you suggestions and that the previous level might be more suitable for you. Remember, you can put your hands under your bottom, rest your head, and do the leg movements. There's lots of options, but with the head away, and then the final variation, level 5, we add the arms. So I'm reaching my hands to touch my knee, opposite hand to opposite knee, and outside the calf. So it's breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And last 2, last 1. Hug it in, rock around, massage the back of you. Take a full body stretch, legs out, arms out. Perfect. Now roll on your side. So we're on the side. Arm up under the head, high on the hips, space in the waist. And I'm going to take the weight up overhead and then lift and lower. Now, you might have seen me wobble then, because it's wobbly this. It is wobbly, and what stabilizes us, but the core muscles, So really channel your mind into those stabilizing muscles of the core. And breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Think about those muscles between the pointy hip bones. And then rest your hand and let's do circles for 8, 7, 6. The leg is really straight. 4, 3, 2, go the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower it down. Very good. Come up to the elbow. So we're going to push down into the knees, lift the hips, come up onto the forearm, and then slowly lower. So breathe out as we lift, lifting the hips. That's it. Breathe in as we lower. Now breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Wonderful. Come up to the heel of the hand. Lift. Make your banana shape up and over. If you wanted to hold your weight, you can. That's up to you. And then slowly lower. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. And one more, we lift. And lower. Perfect. So let's swap sides quickly onto the other side. Weight out in the front of you, high on the hip, and a little bit of space in the waist. So the spine is always in a line. Cup of tea on the hip. Arm up overhead. Lift and lower. So breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. And take your time. Wonderful. Now, hand in the front, circle the leg for 8, 7, 6. Make sure your thigh muscles are on. 4, 3, 2. Go the other way. Leg is straight. 8, 7. Really straight at the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Lower it down. Come up onto the elbow. And ready to lift the hips. Arm beside you. So you're pushing into the knee, lifting the hips into a line. Very good. And lower it down. Do it again. Lift. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Keep your eyes looking forwards. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Perfect. Come up to the heel of the hand. You can hold the weight if you wanted to. Breathe out, lift your banana shape. Up and over, make a banana, and then slowly lower. So breathe out, lift. Breathe in. Slowly lower. And again, breathe out. Lift. And slowly lower. So come back onto the elbows. We were on the forearms, lying on the front. And this is, now you're on your forearms, lying on your back. So this position is quite demanding of the shoulder joints. Be right up on the elbows. That's it. Up on the elbows. Yeah, good. Now hover one leg and then the other leg. So you're going to extend a leg and reach a leg. And it's the same leg, extend, reach, extend, reach. Now, if you feel your neck in this position, it means your head is hanging back. So bring your head much more upright. Extend, reach, extend, reach, extend, reach. Swap, extend, reach. And you can see it's really challenging to fully extend, extend, reach. So this is another variation of the single leg stretch up in this position on your forearms. And we could do the reciprocal legs to finish. Out out, 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 out. Good. Top of the head to the ceiling. Belly muscles engaged. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Have a lie down. Put the foot up onto the opposite knee. Reach between the legs is an option. To draw the legs in towards you. A head support as you do this stretch can be really advisable to get your head into a good position and to feel comfortable also. So remember, the knee at the top is aiming towards the shoulder on the same side. So you don't want to feel like it's in or out. It's in line with the shoulder on the same side. Good. And swap legs. Same thing on the other leg. Reach through. Breathe in and out. Also roll up. Come and kneel. Hip flexors. We'll just stretch up those hip flexors before we disappear. Unless you're in a hurry. Inhale, reach, reach, lengthen. Make sure the front foot is far enough forwards so that you're not overly bending the front knee. Lift, open the chest. Good, swap legs. Step far enough forward. Open the hip. Lift, reach. Breathe in and out. So, lots of work for the core today. Pilates is all about the core. So, tuck the back toes, come up to stand, feet under hips. Make sure you don't fall over anything. Over the shoulders, feet under hips, knees soft, tail to the ground, chest lifted, head on top of the neck. Circle those elbows, really big circles. Lovely. And then the arms, big arm circle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the chest. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale. This time, reach to the ground. Pick up those leaves. Inhale, spread them all around. Exhale, bend down. Inhale, last time, exhale. Inhale, we lift. And so it's arm to the side, head to the ceiling, tail to the ground, and you. Good job.